Number 8 on my list was actually a bit higher on here before I started this countdown. But after the excitement of it being the new James Bond film and really wanting to see it wore off, it dropped down about, I don't know, 2 to 3 places. It's not that I like the film less than I did before, it's just that, well, you'll see. So without further delay, I present the most recent James Bond adventure and Daniel Craig's final entry on this list, Skyfall. To 10. After an action-packed pre-title sequence in which it appears Bond has been killed, there is an attack on MI6. Bond returns to London from his self-imposed exile to find out who is responsible. Bond's investigation eventually leads him to a man named Silva, who was once an agent much like Bond. Bond manages to apprehend Silva, but Silva then escapes custody and tries to kill M, which we find is his main goal throughout the film. Wishing to avoid further collateral damage, Bond takes M to his childhood home, Skyfall Lodge, so that he may force Silva into a final confrontation. After a grueling battle, Bond eventually kills Silva, but at a high cost. I like the whole returning to the James Bond formula feel of the film. Maybe it was the filmmakers trying to make up for Quantum of Solace, I don't know. I like that they brought back Q and Moneypenny, and I am so glad that Ralph Fiennes' character didn't turn out to be Blofeld, or any villain for that matter. I think he's played enough villains lately, so I'm glad he gets to be a good guy again. And I actually liked the final battle at Skyfall Lodge. I've heard some people say it was like James Bond meets Home Alone. Now you'll have to think about that every time you watch the movie. But I like to think of it more as a standoff in an Old West picture. It had the villain who relied so heavily on technology having to battle Bond in a very low-tech setting, and I can really appreciate what they were trying to do there. And I'm okay with the film having a very Dark Knight feel to it. Although that could just be because I like those films so much, but that's another story for another day. There are many who didn't like the film because of that, but you have to realize The Dark Knight was really a game changer for action films, especially films like the James Bond series. Even Silva, the main villain, seems very Joker-esque, and that's part of the reason why people seem to have a mixed opinion of him, I suppose. I, on the other hand, think he fits the film perfectly. I'm getting really tired of Bond being alone at the end of these damn things. Daniel Craig's Bond has gone through so much crap in 3 films, yet he never gets the girl in the end. And no, Moneypenny doesn't count. They are on company time, and they always have been. Lastly, I have mixed feelings about the score of the film. Don't get me wrong, it's a good score. I just miss David Arnold's work. He really took the classic Bond sound and updated it for the new millennium. I'll just say it flat out. This movie doesn't feel like a typical Bond movie. To me, it feels more like a tribute film to the entire franchise. I'm sure it has at least something to do with it being released for the 50th anniversary of Dr. No, but this film also has a strong influence of the recent action-packed Christopher Nolan films, like I said earlier, and I like that, and I know I'm not the only one. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's definitely my favorite of the Daniel Craig films so far. Well, that's it for Daniel Craig and the number 8 entry on the countdown. We've still got 7 films and 5 Bonds to go. So join me next week as we go back in time and take a look at the number 7 entry on the countdown. See ya.